Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to London. I'm in London here to run my workshop and today I will film an episode. And first of all, what is this thing in the background that you can see, this construction? It's pretty crazy, I have no idea what it is, so if you know what it is, let me know in the comments down below. And today I'm going to shoot a camera that I haven't shot in a while, and it's my Leica M6. And on here I have a lens that I've never used before, and it's the smallest lens I've ever shot probably. But it's a focal length I'm super familiar with and I'm very confident with, and it's a 28mm. And you might wonder what this lens is, and it's this TT Artisan 28 f5.6. We'll talk more about the lens a little bit later, and on here I also have a light meter, but more on that a little bit later as well. And the film I'm going to shoot today is also a film that I haven't shot quite a lot because it used to be really expensive. It's still really expensive, but since all the films went up in price, it's the same price as Portra 400 pretty much, and it's this year it's Portra 800. So I'm going to shoot this one stop over at 400, and that's the plan for today. So follow me down in London and let's try to get some decent shots here in London with a 28 on my M6 and Portra 800. Without further ado, Portra 800, M6, let's go. As always, developing and scanning was kindly provided by Carmen Sita Film Lab, my favorite lab in this world. Check them out, the link is in the video description. This lens here, what do I think? Initial thoughts about the lens? I think one major upside of this lens is there's no viewfinder blockage. So basically, if you look through, you cannot even see the lens, so it's that tiny. But on the other hand, because it's so small, it's also a little bit fiddly when you want to change the aperture. So just to demonstrate what I mean by that is here on my Summicron, I can have one finger down here for focusing, and I also can easily change the aperture because it's very grippy, so no problem. But on the TT Artisan, because it's so small, I guess there's nothing grippy here, so I cannot use one finger. I have to change the aperture by putting my fingers here and then use both hands. I can use one hand, yeah, it's okay, but it's not as nice and easy as on the Summicron. But I think that's due to the size, so other than that, it's totally fine. Now let's quickly talk about this light meter that I have on the camera here. It's also made by TT Artisan, but the lens they sent me because they asked me if I want to try it out. But this one I bought myself roughly a year ago. So I bought this, but since then I haven't really used it. So this is the first time actually using it, and it's very simple. It's if you're familiar with the Voigtländer one, it's pretty much the same thing. So you can set the ISO and the aperture and the shutter speed, and there's a plus and minus and a green dot in the middle if you're spot on. So it's basically it. If you have a camera that doesn't come with a light meter and you want one, I think it's great because you can just put it on the hot or cold show and you're good to go. Or you can use it handheld. That's totally fine. For me, because I roughly know my settings, I don't really use it. So on this day, because it's very bright, I'm shooting at 500 f11, and that's pretty much it. If it's a little bit shady, and then sometimes I drop the shutter speed to 1/25. It's easier than opening the aperture to 5.6 on here because it's more fiddly. So here I can do it without looking at the camera. So that's, for me, it's easier, but would be the same result. But also the depth of field gets shallower then, so you have to be more accurate with the focusing. Yeah, so this, I recommend it if you don't have one, and you can get it. It's fairly affordable and it does its job. So if you want a light mirror, I think this is good, and it packs very small. So I think it's a good thing. So let's keep shooting. Alright guys, look at that, there's a warship, and it looks like you can go and see it for yourself. Well, it's probably, they will charge you an arm and a leg just to go on the ship, but nevertheless, pretty cool.
And by the way, the London workshop was a great success, and if you want to come to one of my workshops, you have the opportunity in November in Australia and in December in Bangkok. If you want to find out more, the link is in the video description. The lighting in the scene was great, but I have no idea why I did not include the shadow on the wall. I think that would have worked a lot better. Alright guys, let's talk a little bit more about the lens. And I almost forgot to mention the ticket for the ship basically costs you the equivalent of 2 of those here. So 2 rolls of Portra 800 or visiting the ship. So I think I would go for 2 rolls of Portra 800. Alright, so the lens, what I really liked about the lens is, to be honest, is the focusing tab. It's not really a tab, it's more like a knob or something like that. So, and operating this was really nice. If I had the camera on my eyes or focusing, for zone focusing, it was very easy. I could easily, after a few minutes, already knew where 1.5 meter was. So that's a breeze to use. I think for zone focusing, this is perfect. Also because of the slow aperture of 5.6, this lens is basically perfect for zone focusing because you will not get any shallow depth of field with this lens. So if you do street photography in the daytime and you're looking for a 28mm lens, this might be it. I mean, for the money, it's incredible. And by looking at the images, it's really sharp. So if you stop down to f8, f11, it's a great lens, and for the size and the money you pay for it, it's pretty amazing. Of course, it's not a lens for low light. If you want to use flash, yes, you can do that, even in low light, but without, I think this lens only is good for street photography in the daytime. So this is one thing I really liked about the lens. The things I don't like too much, first of all, it's the aperture ring, but I mean, how often do you set it? In bright conditions, you leave it just at f8, f11, that's pretty much it, so it's not a big deal. And also, yeah, I mean, the design, yeah, it's pretty much a rip-off of the Leica Summron. I don't know what to think about that, but I mean, yeah, considering the price, it's okay. So people that want to buy the Summron will buy the Summron, they will not pick up this lens. But if you're in the market for like a M lens that is a 28, that is really small, and kind of delivers, I would say, I think this is a pretty good deal.
Alright guys, that's it from today's episode, shooting the M6 Portrait 800 and the TT Artisan 28mm lens here in London. I have to say it was good fun shooting, even though I couldn't get in the zone for whatever reason, but it still was nice. So, and the sun is going down now, so I think perfect timing to end it here. Alright, if you like this episode, as always, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and we will see each other very soon in the next one. Until then, auf Wiedersehen.